when they just took out salt, it didn't make much of a difference until they added more potassium. And of course, I just want to quickly cover, we've done lots of videos, just your example there, that taking potassium out can potentially elevate or make no changes to blood pressure.
You need to temporarily use a potassium restricted diet to get that aligned.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I am naturopathic Dr. Fiona, co-founder of the Kidney Disease Solution, kidney coach Genesis, and I am joined again today by the wonderful, fabulous Jessianna Saville. If you haven't seen Jessianna before, she is the director of Kidney Nutritional Institute and the head renal dietitian there. Jessianna has been in the field for a long time. She often speaks at educational events, training nephrologists and other renal dietitians about all things diet and renal function. She's quite the expert in the field, and she's been on our channel a lot for a very good reason. So Jess, thank you. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm interested to go back to your point where you said in the DASH diet, which for people who don't know, that's related to the Mediterranean heart disease diet, that when they just took out salt, it didn't make much of a difference until they added more potassium. And of course, I just want to quickly cover, we've done lots of videos on this, but potassium gets absolutely demonized when it comes to kidney disease as well. But we know that in just your example there, that taking potassium out can potentially elevate or make no changes to blood pressure or even elevate it. So do you want to quickly just talk to that point as well, with the relationship between potassium and salt and sodium?
Yeah, so I mean the big takeaway from this is that if you're way later stage and you're showing that your potassium's high in your blood work, you may need to temporarily use a potassium restricted diet to get that aligned. But a lot of times potassium's demonized. People take all this potassium out of the diet. They're not eating tomatoes. They've taken out, oranges or sweet potatoes, like all these really rich potassium foods. And they think it's going to help their kidneys, but it has the opposite effect, because now they don't have as much control on their blood pressure, because it's such an important part of that overall blood pressure control. So for us, one of the benefits if we're going to cut sodium down a little bit, and just to clarify, they saw some impact with sodium being reduced, but they saw the greatest impact with sodium reduced and potassium increased, right? Yep. And a lot of this comes down to the alkalinity of our system. And so if you're going to move towards cutting back a little bit of sodium, that's why when you increase the plants in your diet, you're going to see such like a bajillion other benefits. See a big result, because plants often are rich in potassium, and you can get a lot more potassium in your diet. Yeah. And you may be able to explain the mechanism even deeper than me on that.
Well, no, it's that, like you say, it's the alkalinity with more plants. We know when we are more alkaline, actually, we switch more bicarbs. It goes down to the bicarb electron transport system, but that in itself causes vasodilation. And the more alkaline we are, one of the things that kidneys do in homeostasis, which you mentioned, is one of the major mechanisms of the kidneys is to keep our blood alkaline. Because if we have even a slight shift, we end up with metabolic acidosis, which can cause death. So the kidneys spend a lot of their energy trying to keep their body alkaline. Now, if you're a highly acidic diet, not eating enough plant-based sort of foods, then the kidneys are going to spend all their time keeping this alkalinity balance going and trying to move us more towards an alkaline balance. Now, if you can do that through the diet, you free up the energy in the kidneys to heal and to do other things that are potentially going out. But if they have to spend all their energy trying to alkalize, they're not doing all of these other things that we need them to do. And I actually believe it's one of the reasons we see a shift in potassium, is because it is the alkalinity mechanism has actually gone out and it's sort of blown itself, if you, for want of a better word, it's quite a crude word, but, and then we see this rise in potassium, but it's because the alkaline balance wasn't gotten right in the first place. And I think if you can get that right by using potassium plant-based foods early on, you can preserve a end stage increase in potassium by doing it early. That's what I see.
That's a great, yeah, that's a great theory. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it logically makes sense to me too. But and again, I do see that in clinic, the end stage people that are really getting high potassium levels generally have never got their alkalinity under control early. And it's one of the reasons why alkaline diets, and you would know this too from clinical practice, implemented early, those guys have better long-term outcomes. And generally we don't see potassium go up in end stages. At least that's been, and we don't get this imbalance in the electrolytes so much, because that does tend to fix the sodium problem, right? When you're putting more plant-based diet and all of that sort of stuff, it sort of overall fixes it. When you're in an alkaline diet, sodium doesn't become a problem really anymore. If you want to know more about what Jessianna and her team do at the Kidney Nutritional Institute, kni.org, I'll put the website link below. If you want to know more about what we do, head to www.kidneycoach.com. You'll find us on Facebook and Instagram under those handles as well. Make sure you hit subscribe and like. That way you will get notified anytime we put up more content. And if you have questions for Jessianna, or there's certain topics that you want us to cover, please put it in the comments below and we will make sure that we add it to our list of videos and podcasts to create. Jessianna, thanks again for your time, as always, your expertise and your knowledge. Always appreciate you. And for everybody listening, thanks for being part of our community. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Okay, we'll see you. Bye-bye.